I noticed some models were made in the class that had doors in it, but did not have frames. I just want to go over creating frames for doors you may already have downloaded. So here's a frame right here. This is the frame of this particular door. And doors need frames. I mean, we have to put the hinge on something and the lock set and so forth. So the door needs frames. But sometimes when you download from the 3D warehouse, you just get a door and not a frame. So let's take a look at some examples here. So here's some examples downloaded from the 3D warehouse. This is what a lot of students are downloading, just a straight door, and that's fine. That's a nice little door there. This one does have its own frame about it, but this is a special kind of door. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And these are very similar doors in the sense that they come with frames already. You can see we've got the casing already here and how to kind of address the differences between the doors that you might find on the 3D warehouse. Let's start with this one. So these are all components. You download them and they're ready to go. But this one needed a frame. So if I make a rectangle now on the face, I want to zoom up to make sure I go to the outside edge here and then the outside edge up here. You can see that we basically have a surface on a surface. And then I will do the offset tool and offset out 0.75 or 3/4. The frame is very thin, and then the casing goes beyond that. I'm going to go ahead and move this line. So I selected this line. I'm going to move it up in the blue. So it lines up with that. And then I'm going to also select the surface here, which you notice it's not selecting the edge here. Just delete that. I don't need a rectangle here. I just need the frame. I'm going to double click on this frame to get the frame in the edge. Right click, make component, and I'm going to just call it frame or door frame, whatever name you'd like that makes sense to you. And then double click to go inside that component, P and push pull, and I'd go, 4.5 or something like that, the size of a wall thickness. And when you bring this into your model, if the wall's a little thicker, I just push pull it out deeper, right? So here it is, a door and a frame ready to go. You may even want to select both the door and the frame and make it a component and call it, door with frame or something, something that makes sense to you. Done. Now we can move this around, put it in a wall, and go with that. What if you have more than one size door? So this door is 2'10". Let's say you have a 2'6" door, or maybe a 3-foot door. Well, let's go ahead and make a couple copies of this. And for each copy, I'm going to right click on it and make unique. Because I made this a component, so I want to make sure I don't affect all of them. And then additionally, once you go inside here, I got to make this frame unique as well. And the actual door itself unique. So I'm right clicking on both the frame and the door so that I can modify one, not the other. A good test is if you click on this door and this becomes a lot of dots and these don't, then you've gone far enough. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and double click. Let's make this door a little narrower. Let's make this door a 2'6" door. So T for tape measure. Click here, come across the surface, type in 2'6", enter. And so that door has to be that narrow. All right, so if I'm double clicking here, I want to grab, I want to look at the door straight on, and I want to grab kind of this area right here. So I'm going to select this like this, and then I'm going to go M for move. I'm going to click here and kind of go across to there. And now my door is the right size. Notice I use this side. If I was going to do this side, I want to make sure I grab the door handle. But that's good here. Now, of course, these paneling isn't like that. So what I'll do is I'm going to go inside here. I'm going to draw a line from here to here, right? And then I'm going to select the paneling. So I'm not going to select the end of the door now. I'm not going to do this. That'd be giving me too much. I make the door smaller than it needs to be. I'm going to select the paneling. Look straight on it. and select the paneling. I just want these areas right in here. Notice where I went to. I went from here to here. And I'm doing a window select, so I'm going from left to right. So now I go M for move, and I'll grab the midpoint of this line. Click. And then I'm going to lock it in the red by hitting the right arrow key. And then I'll go to the midpoint of the top of the door. Click. So now I can delete this line. I don't need it. All these panels are the same width. And this is basically what would happen. Assuming this size and this size isn't going to be different. It's the size of these door panels become a little different. Double click on the frame. And again, just to select that side of it. M for move. Click. Go in the red. Again, lock it in the red. Hit the right arrow key for the red. And when you click on that, done. Here we have a 2'6" door. Oh, it looks like I've got a line down here. So we'll clean up every so often if you've got extra lines. All right, that looks good. And then edit, delete guides. And that clears that up. So there you have it, 2'6" door. This is a 2'10", 2'6". What if it's supposed to be 3-foot door? All right, kind of the same situation. Double click. T for tape, well, let's go back. I do the tape measure outside, let's say. T for tape measure. Click here, come across this way in the red. Type in 3 foot. There you go. So the door has to be that wide. So in this case, I probably will do the frame first. In this one, I did the door first and put the frame to it. This I'll do the frame first and get the door to it. So double click, select the frame. Oh, gotta go deeper. There you go. Select the frame. M for move. Click, lock it in the red. Click. That's it. So this door has to be made this wide. All right. So now I can go into the door. Here's the door frame. I'm going to select the end. Notice I'm going from here to here. Right? I'm not doing here, here, here. I'm going right there, right down the middle. M for move. Click here. Hit the right arrow key just to make sure we stay in the red. And again, we got the other option, the other problem before. This one was this came too narrow. This one got wider than this one. Same solution. L for line, click, click, and then I'm going to select. Remember, select first, then do. We're going to select the same middle pieces plus that line that I drew. M for move. Click the midpoint, come across in the right, in the red, and then get to the midpoint of the door. Oh, that looks like it. Select the line and delete or erase it, and there you go. So here we have a edit, delete guides. We have a 3-foot door, 2'6" door, 2'10" door. I got 3 doors, and they all are working well. So this door here is a little different. It's called a dynamic component, and we can interact with that with this little toolbar here. And to get to this toolbar, you can go to View, Toolbars, and make sure that Dynamic Components is checked. So how does that work? Well, this is the Interact tool. If you click on it, and you click on this door, look what happened. It opens and it closes. You can also resize it by using this component options. So when I clicked on it, I says there's no option to choose here. If I double click again and go inside, now I've got options for the width of the door. So if this door is supposed to be 2'6", I'm going to type in 2'6", hit apply, and there it is. The door's been resized. If it's 2'10", 2'10", apply, the door's resized. And then I can just click out and I can put it in position. So that's another type of door. If you've got one of these, now not all of them have these options, and you have to play around with them. A lot of them do open up. Dynamic doors, a lot of people like to see them open and close. It's just kind of cool to show the client, perhaps, walking through the model. But that's one thing to do. So this one, if you try to stretch and pull and all that kind of stuff like we did with these doors, yeah, it's not going to work very well. Both of these doors, however, don't have casing. They just have a frame. These have frame and casing. So there's a frame, here's a casing, here's a casing, right? They come in different sizes, different widths, depending on how it was designed. This one even comes with a separate piece for door swing. So this is designed so that with our tags, we can make the door go away. And in plan view, then we would see just the door swing like this, like what we want to see. We really don't need this. Now, if you want to keep it, perhaps, you can certainly take off the tag, make it not visible. It won't hurt you any. Or you can simply erase these. Say, I'm never going to need this. So I just grab that and hit the delete key and it's gone. Purge out layer of the tag and it'll be fine. So then you have to start thinking about how this particular component got together. It's got a frame and everything. So if I double click once, I see that, oh, the frame and the casing is a component. Okay, double click again. Okay, the casing is a component, the frame is not. All right, so let's say I need to make this door 2'6" door. So T for tape measure. Click here, come across, 2'6". So it's a smaller door, right? Grab the actual frame here. I'm going to grab just the frame like this. Now I know it doesn't look like I'm grabbing anything, but by doing this, by doing a window crossing, again, I've tested it. I can see that I got little dots here, so we got it. M for move, and now I can move it in the, hit the right arrow key again, move it in the right arrow. And so I'm just going to get it in first just to see it. Then I'll grab it, click, come out this way in the red until it hits that line. There you go. That's where it has to be. Now this particular model also has a line for the casing. You see that? So this frame has a line here for me to line up the casing. So I'm going to double click on the casing and double click again. All right, and then I'm going to do again a window. So I'm going to, again, not the whole thing. I'm not going to do a crossing. I get too much of it then. I want just a window. So from here to here, and then M for move. Click, and I'm going to go across here to here. Click. Now that may or may not occur in your model. But notice this, because this and this are both components, they both shrunk up. Okay, so it looks like there's an extra piece here I need to grab too. So I'm going to double click here, do a window, M for move. I'm going to come across in the red. Right is red. All right, there we go. So now I've got all my pieces. All right. So again, working with a model, you're going to have all these little different pieces. This is a stop for the door here, right? So the door, when it closes and opens, it comes stops with a stop. All right. All right. Edit, delete guides. Edit, delete guides. All right. So now what's left is the door itself. Now this one's tricky. Because of the way the door is made. If I double click on the door and double click again, there's actually a component of the face. So take a look here a second. The face is one thing, but the door itself is not. Let me get out again. So we've got the door and a component for the face and a component for the face. So I can actually take out some of these paneling and it would affect the other side too. So it's a several part door. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to be careful about how you have to look at how the components put together and how it's nested. So the idea for this is that whatever you do to this face is going to affect this other face automatically, as opposed to, let's say, this door. So if I draw a line here or change the size here, I got to go back to this side and do the same thing over here, right? So on this one, if I do it to one side, I get to the other side automatically. So if I double click, and I'm going to go all the way down to the actual door itself. And then I do again, I look, I do a crossing. I notice because I'm doing from this side as opposed to the hinge side, I'm going to make sure I grab that handle, right? So I'm going to grab here. And then I'm going to do M for move. Okay, now there's a problem. See, I didn't grab this piece. See that? This would warp. This would work incorrectly. So I'm going to make sure I look straight on, make sure I go here to here, and I get the whole, that's right. I want all this, all this, all this. All right, M for move. And for right now, I'm just going to click and go in. I'm just going to go in, and then we'll go click, and we'll go out just a bit until I get to that point right there. See that? Click. All right. So now my door is correctly to the opening, because I sized the frame up. All right. Again, the paneling here, as before, I just so happen this one already has a line here because this is showing the different pieces of wood. Matter of fact, this model is nicely laid out because then the grain of the wood can be changed depending on the orientation of the piece of wood. So this is all ready to go for me. I didn't have to draw any extra lines. I'm going to grab this right here. Again, this is kind of tricky. So sometimes you have to orbit a little bit to get it just right. So we got that, right? That's what I want. I want just those pieces. M for move. And I'll go. Okay. I want these pieces. Sorry, take it back. I want all of these, right? I want all of these going together. M for move. Midpoint of this line. I'm going to come across, right click, right arrow, click on the right arrow key on the keyboard, click. There we go. So then the only thing that I've got left to do is the actual frame of the actual door face. See that? Go to View, Component Edit, Hide Rest of Model. So you can see this better. And this might be something you might want to do on pieces like this. You might want to do this kind of stuff where you just see the one piece at a time if you've got the right dimension already. In this case, I can do push-pull if I want and line up with there, right? Or I can also use the move command, same thing. And this one I can do push-pull because honestly, it works just fine. It does a good job right there. And so there we have the door and the frame, the smaller one. And making it larger is similar to how we made this one larger. But I would have to do piece by piece by piece. I'd have to do the outside frame. I'd have to do this piece here, and then also this little inside frame, right? That's the door stopper we got going on here. So we've got all these different pieces to this door to put it together. This one is a little different because in this one, the frame is all one thing. This is all one. It's not separate pieces. So you can just do the window, and you can go make it larger or make it smaller, right? Because you can grab all of them together. And then for the door itself, the same as before, you just kind of grab the door. Now this one, okay, it looks like the handle here is separate from the door. See that? They're two different components. Whereas in this one, the handle was part of that door face. This face of the door, this face of the door right here, had that handle as part of it. All right. So in this one, this is a different piece. So that's fine. I will maybe double click again. Wow. You can see a little bit where we're at here. It looks like, yeah, this piece is going to be like that. So this door handle is separate, but it's lined up with this keyhole. So it's going to give me something to snap to. So I'm going to go to the door here, select it, go deep here, select it, M for move, click. And then I'm going to go back here, View, Component Edit, take that off. There you go. Lock it in the red. And let's say I was going to go in like this, smaller, right? And then this one here, then I would have to make sure I select both of them, both of these, right? So I select one, hold the control key, select the other one. M for move, and I'm going to grab this keyhole right there, and I'll move it to the keyhole here. I got something I can snap to. And there you go. The same thing works if it's going larger. So this one had a few more clicks to do because it was a more kind of detailed, broken up model. This one, because the frame was already exploded and separate, that's fine. If I have to make it deeper for this model, let's say this looks a little thin for wall surfaces. I'm basically going to look like this, grab this frame and make sure I get all of that. Nope, gotta go deeper. There you go. Do a window select because I just want this back frame right here. And I do M for move, and I can make it as thick as the wall I need it to be. Because the inside, the face of the wall goes here to here, right? This sticks out beyond the face of the wall. So I can just put this in and then just stretch that. And if necessary, go to View, Component Edit, Hide Rest of Model, and you can see that a little bit better, and then drill down until you get to the actual spot where you can actually click on the surfaces. And then you can select and move in or out however you need to. Let's go back to this one now that we're talking about frames. You can make casing is the same way we made this frame, right? We can do a rectangle here and kind of go from here to here. F for offset. Go out maybe 2 1/4, maybe 3. So this time we're just going to draw a line and then separate the bottom part from the top part and erase the bottom part. Make it a component, casing. And so now I can give it thickness, maybe 3/4 of an inch for thickness. And I mean, there's kind of the door there. One last thing down here at the bottom, you may want to come down from this frame, like push pull down maybe, you know, 1/4 of an inch or something like that, because typically the frames do go down below the door. There's that way, you know, the air can flow underneath the door. So I'll clean that up a little bit. Oh, and now, well, now we got the frame here. I can, you know, move, control, and then go to the other side, right? I mean, I've got frame on both sides. And whatever happens to this frame, it'll happen to the other one on the other side. So hopefully that gives you a good idea how to get all the doors, different sizes, and get frame on the doors and make it work for you for your model.